SFM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
1010 winds, AccuWeather, sunny and beautiful today, 66 degrees, then clouding up tonight, 56 on the overnight. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy, and we are looking at rain from tropical rainstorm Nicole by the midday. Could be very heavy tomorrow night. Your daytime high tomorrow, 68. It's 48 now. More people get their news from 1010 winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Angela Laurie is our service aide. Jim Maloney at the editor's desk. I'm Susan Richard.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 48 degrees, 7 o'clock, Thursday, November 10th. I'm Lee Harris, and here's what's happening. Hurricane Nicole slams into Florida's east coast, but she's already down to tropical storm. We'll be feeling Nicole up here tomorrow. Still waiting for final results in many congressional races to determine control of Congress. There's a congressional race in Colorado that's separated by 64 votes out of 300,000 cast. The Anti-Defamation League holding its annual summit at the Javits Center today to talk about hate and how to stop it. We've got the October inflation numbers next hour. Economists expect the number to print at 8%. Cops are hunting for a FedEx driver in a deadly hit-and-run in Brooklyn. Sports, the Nets trounced the Knicks. The Nets also officially named Jacques Vaughn as head coach. 1010 winds, AccuWeather. Sunny and milder today. We'll have a high of 66 in Midtown. News time 7:01. Now it's traffic and transit from Karen Stewart.
Well, this Cross Island Parkway accident, the LIE, is a major annoyance right now. It's been out there since about 6:06 on the northbound Cross Island Parkway at the LIE is where this accident is, and we are jammed back to the southern state. Back to the southern state, we're jammed. Now, the westbound Jackie Robinson Parkway has got a new accident. It is west. It's approaching Metropolitan Avenue again, and the right lane is blocked, and we're jammed back to the Kew Gardens interchange, and the Grand Central Parkway to Kew Gardens and into the Jackie Robinson is delayed from back at the Cross Island Parkway. The LIE, one long delay, starting at about Shelter Rock Road, going out to 164th Street. Then it gets really jammed from there out to Woodhaven Boulevard, and we're bumper to bumper from Maurice Avenue to the BQE as well. So next, we're going to talk about what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels over at the East River. The RFK is very heavy. The Queensbound Whitestone Bridge is very heavy. 59th Street Bridge is not bad. Center span, things get a little hairy, but other than that, we're in pretty good shape, and your Lower East River crossings look good. It's just a matter of getting there, really. The entire Staten Island Expressway, well under the speed limit from center span of the Gold Coast Bridge, Staten Island bound, to across the span of the Brooklyn bound Verrazano Narrows. This traffic report is brought to you by your Odyssey Lottery recap presented by Jackpocket. Powerball is $47 million, and Mega is now $189 million. Play Powerball and Mega on your phone using Jackpocket. Must be 18 or older to play. If you have a gambling problem or want help, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the ones. I'm Karen Stewart. 1010 winds on 92.3 FM.
Sound Hurricane Nicole arriving in Florida this morning, making landfall just south of Vero Beach around 3 a.m. But Nicole was downgraded to tropical storm shortly after her arrival.
Hurricane Nicole made its arrival in the middle of the night, slamming Florida's east coast with heavy rain and wind gusts topping 75 miles per hour. Homeowners described their backyards disappearing as massive waves lashed the Daytona Beach area, already battered by Hurricane Ian 6 weeks ago. New drone video shows the beach erosion in Volusia County hours before Nicole's landfall. The storm surge expected to be up to 5 feet, jeopardizing homes and residential buildings. The sheriff saying 12 condos and at least one hotel were in danger of collapsing. Authorities evacuated families from at least 6 of the buildings.
Correspondent Andrew Dimbert in Florida, and we will be feeling Nicole up here tomorrow. AccuWeather's Dean DeVore here to tell us about that. Dean?
Yeah, the tropical rainstorm, by the time it gets here, will be providing us a multitude of issues. One, rain, and there will be heavy pockets of it, especially Friday night into early Saturday morning. Embedded into those heavy pockets of rain, we're looking at some thunderstorm chances in that too, and those could contain damaging winds of 70 miles per hour or so tomorrow, and there's a possibility it's could spin up into a brief tornado. Those damaging wind gusts into the evening hours and first part of tomorrow night. Rain continues into the early hours of Saturday morning, then rockets away. The wind is going to also general winds. Not only the embedded wind gusts in those storms could cause some problems, especially the coastal areas where it could be gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, just general wind too. So rain, wind, some severe thunderstorm problems. It's all going to be problematic late tomorrow into Saturday morning, and we'll keep you up to date. Another update in 10 minutes on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Well, we better enjoy today then, when it will be mostly sunny and milder. We'll have a high of 66, 48 degrees now. Clear skies going up to a sunny 66 in Midtown. We're still waiting for final results from a number of congressional races around the country, results that will determine the party in power in both houses. The Senate races in Georgia and Alaska are going to runoffs. Also still to be determined, the next governor of Arizona.
If Carrie Lake pulls off a win, she'll cement herself as a rising star in the MAGA wing of the GOP. Do you plan to serve your entire term in Arizona, or are you open to being the VP?
I am going to not only be the governor of Arizona for 4 years, I'm going to do 2 terms. I'm going to be your worst freaking nightmare.
Carrie Lake talking to correspondent Chris Van Cleve, a former journalist herself. She has been promising reporters that she'll teach them how to do their jobs properly. President Biden was expected to keep a low profile yesterday, but since the predicted red wave did not materialize, he came out to talk about the midterm results.
When I return from the G20 meetings in Indonesia with other world leaders, I'm going to invite the leaders of both political parties, as I've done in the past in my foreign trips, to the White House to discuss how we can work together for the remainder of this year and into the next Congress.
One of the races that's up in the air is in Colorado, where Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is trailing Democrat Adam Frisch by 64 votes out of more than 300,000 cast. That's with 99% of the vote now in. Frisch says if that's what it turns out to be, he'll take it.
Most people thought we were going to lose by 8, 9, or 10 points, and we're basically, winning by a little bit, and hopefully we'll win at the end.
There will be an automatic recount if the difference turns out to be less than 0.5%, which at this point it definitely is. There's a big summit at the Javits Center today. The topic is hate and what to do about it.
Hate and anti-Semitism is on the rise, according to the Anti-Defamation League, making this summit here at the Javits Center all the more important, says Regional Director Scott Richmond.
We look at this as an opportunity to delve deeply into this critical issue of anti-Semitism and to do that with top thought leaders.
They include Congresswoman Liz Cheney, Mayor Adams, and actor David Schwimmer. Schwimmer will talk about how anti-Semitism is easily spread through social media and how to combat it online.
Pressing social media companies to take responsibility for the hate and misinformation on their site.
Darius Radzius, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM. At the Javits Center.
Cops say they've got the guy who tossed a wrench at Cardinal Dolan's residence behind St. Patrick's last month. 28-year-old Juan Velez charged with criminal mischief as a hate crime. He's also facing hate crime charges for damaging the front doors of All Saints Episcopal Church on East 60th Street and damaging another door at the Archdiocese of New York on First Avenue. Velez's last known address is a homeless shelter in Kips Bay. Cops responding to a car crash in Queens yesterday found the crash was the least of the problems for one of the people involved. It was about 4:15 yesterday afternoon when a Range Rover slammed into a van at Parsons Boulevard and Franklin Avenue. The driver of the Range Rover jumped out and took off on foot, but his passenger stayed behind because police say he'd been shot in the head and was dead. No ID yet on him, no word on who shot him or why, and police are still looking for that driver. They're also hunting for a FedEx driver, a FedEx truck driver, in a deadly hit-and-run in Brooklyn last night. A man was crossing Caton Avenue at Coney Island Avenue, and a FedEx truck slammed into the back of a Kia, sending that Kia barreling into the man, who wound up pinned underneath the car. The truck driver took off. Cops say he had been speeding, and this morning they're still looking for him. The driver of the Kia remained at the scene. No charges against him as of now. The inflation rate is still up around a 40-year high. In fact, that will make itself very clear a couple of weeks from today when Americans sit down to Thanksgiving dinner.
How to save if you're willing to wait until the last minute.
Like last year, the day before Thanksgiving, there were some pretty good deals there.
How much does she weigh?
25 pounds.
Okay. Free-range turkeys like these at Becker Farms do cost more. Father of 5 Kyle Becker works a second job as a veterinarian to make ends meet.
as higher costs ruffle feathers for farmers and the rest of us.
Janet Shamlian checking out a turkey farm in Indiana. We'll get the consumer inflation report for October next hour, and the number expected to come in at 8% year over year. It's 48 degrees, skies are clear. We're going up to a sunny 66 in Midtown. Now this, driving while impaired, call Isaac Abraham, traffic attorney, 718-520-7900. Russia says it's retreating from the only regional capital it managed to take during the war with Ukraine, and as James Longman reports, that could set up an opportunity for peace talks.
The most significant Russian retreat in Ukraine in months. The southern city of Kherson has been occupied since February. It's the largest city in Russian hands and the only regional capital. But now Putin's troops may be set to leave. This top Russian commander saying it's a difficult decision but would preserve his forces. Ukraine is urging caution tonight. A top aide for Zelensky saying, "We see no signs that Russia is leaving Kherson without a fight."
Zelensky has recently indicated he might be open to peace talks after previously saying that he would not negotiate while Putin remained in power. Elon Musk says there will be no more remote work at Twitter, reportedly telling employees he hasn't fired yet to prepare for difficult times ahead. Some major companies have pulled their ads and accounts off Twitter, concerned it's going to turn into some kind of free-for-all under the policies of the new owner. But speaking to advertisers yesterday, Musk attempted to assure them that their brands will not be damaged.
The vast majority of people, I think, are good, not bad. They're good. But there's a small number of people who are not good. And if those small number of people who want to engage in terrible behavior are allowed to amplify their voice tremendously with fake accounts, then they will do so.
But he says the new Twitter will be much better at identifying and deleting fake accounts. Wednesday's time, 7:11. Here's traffic and transit on the ones from Karen Stewart.
All right, we're talking about the Jackie Robinson Parkway here. First, westbound Jackie Robinson after Cypress Hill Street. We do have another accident there. We've got very heavy delays to go back to Metropolitan Avenue westbound, and we are delayed into Metropolitan eastbound from where that accident scene is as well. We're jammed on the westbound Grand Central into the Kew Gardens interchange. Delays start at the Clearview Expressway, and it's bumper to bumper for almost, not quite, the whole way out into Kew Gardens. The westbound LIE is jammed up to the Cross Island Parkway from back at New Hyde Park Road. The Cross Island Parkway accident is still there. Still. We are jammed from the northbound Cross Island Parkway approaching the LIE from the 6 o'clock hour. Accident there. 2 right lanes are blocked. Cross Island Parkway delays are bumper to bumper back to the southern state. Absolutely stop dead bumper to bumper. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. East River crossings, nothing major going on here. Over at the Hudson River, it's 45 minutes inbound. Holland, Lincoln, and both levels of the GW Bridge. And a check of mass transit, we've got that Hoboken to 33rd Street line of the path back. We've got 5 NQWs. All those subways running with delays, and alternate side parking is in effect today. We're sponsored by Downtown Brooklyn Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Our next report, 7:21. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Downtown Brooklyn Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is redefining the rehabilitation.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's Driving in the News for November 10th, 2022. I hope everyone is making their Thanksgiving plans, as that's coming up pretty soon. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.